Hey there guys, it's Kage coming at you for another Guild Wars video, and I'm just gonna, it's safe to say at this point, I think Snowprint heard my challenge to them to try and, get us to lose, and they have been throwing opponent after opponent after us who've been way more difficult than anything we fought in the last 3 seasons to some extent. We again, an anomaly was fighting a full 30-man guild. We're now fighting full 30-man guilds. Uh, Even today, these guys are, like, in terms of power, like, they're 78 mil, and where are we on that? 70. Okay, so they got about 20 million more power than us. I'm not sure what their I did not want to show that. Sorry. I don't know what their overall guild ranking is, because that's already come and gone. But yeah, no, outside of, let's just say, the farmers we fought, that one, like, that guild that they really just didn't stand much of a chance. Everybody's been progressively getting better, so it's curious to see if the finale is going to be some mega boss battle, or if Snowprint's just going to throw their hands up in the air and say, okay, you guys get to be top dogs at Battlefield 2, and we get some Bobo team. There was one guild I wanted to actually shout out. I was very happy with that fight. That's a little small. Can I get a better one here? Let's try this. Hold on. That's a little bit better. Yeah, these Memento Mori guys, this is the first guild, I think, since Season 1 to actually get us to wipeout status. So, to these guys, you had a really good offense, and yeah, it really made my guys push to the point where we actually got a super high score on this fight. Like, it's very weird. Like, these are the first guys to, like, push us to completely wipe out our base, and in return, these are also the guys where we got a super high end score. We did 572, and I think we were down to like 6 tokens at the end. Like, we absolutely just pushed, because wasn't sure how far these guys were going to go. I think at the end they had like 40 tokens left or something. They ran out of gas, but I super shout out to them on that one. That was a fun fight. We definitely enjoyed it, and was not expecting that, because again, I mean, those guys on paper, they were like, maybe a couple million ahead of us in terms of everything. Their war status, was like 300 something. Didn't seem that tough. So that's one of the problems with the matchmaking system, is it is really hard to gauge a proper opponent for people, because things happen. People, quick guilds. You could end up where a season where it's like, all of a sudden, you go from having 30 people to 29 or 28, and you're fighting with a man down, or you could just have so many things going on in game that people's interest in wars kind of wane. And I think that's what may have happened with a couple of the earlier battles. I think, like, either like the first or the third battle, or the first and the second battle were kind of meh, and the other ones have been ramping up to where we're fighting some well-organized groups. They're not making the general mistakes that a lot of these guilds make, where they're hitting multiple lanes, or just attacking random targets while there's an obvious push path going on. So we're definitely seeing a shift in things. Now, is this because we've pushed up our guild power? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it feels on the back end that something's been changed with the matchmaking, and I'm hoping that for most people it's for the better. I'm hoping that you guys are finding better fights as well as I am, because again, I've explicitly stated I'm not going to be sad if we have 1 or 2 tough matches a season, and then the other ones are kind of easy. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. That's, you know. So this one here could be kind of tough. The last one, I can't say Memento Mori was a tough guild. They had good offense, but we got a record score on them. So obviously we were able to just punch through their defenses, but I don't know if it's because they were scoring well and it elevated my guys to want to score well, or if it was just their defense setup. I have no idea, but they pushed and we pushed back in kind. And well, today's fight, we haven't really made much headway yet, but our opponent is bleeding tokens pretty profusely. Another full guild. Again, these guys have a lot more power on us, so they definitely have a lot more attacking potential. And as of right now, I can't rule them out. This fight could go either way, because again, it's too soon to tell, but I'm not overly optimistic in their chances of victory against us, to be honest. I know that's me just, you know, being an a-hole, being like, oh yeah, good luck to these guys, but I mean, we're like, I don't know how many wins we're into this overall, but we're at like 30 something at this point, and I don't think these guys are in a similar win rank or anything to us, and at this point, the system is just trying to throw whatever it can at us to get us to lose. Because, let's face it, this is a 20 mil deficit in terms of actual power. In terms of, you know, defensive power, though, it is kind of close. So that I can show you. Like, that's, maybe it is starting to base more off of that. Like, they are kind of close to us. We have a high-end defensive power despite our overall potential power, you know, or like, you know, screen power, which is what, 58 mil. So they're like 78 mil. So the fact that we've got a bit more than them here, that definitely helps us. In fact, I think Memento Mori only had about like 8.1 or 8.2 to our, I think at the time like 8.5. So that may have been another reason why those guys were kind of easy in that regard. But yeah, as it stands right now, it still could go any way, but chances are sometime tomorrow I'll be saying, well, can't wait to see who's next on the chopping block, because yeah, just not, no. And I know people are like, well, you should move up. No. Get me better rewards, because again, these boxes, these win boxes, these do not change in a higher tier. So why would I move up? For the spirit of the challenge, Kage, to really push your guild. I played Wukong. You can watch me push myself there. Sorry, guys. Sorry. No, it's just, everybody plays differently, you know. And again, it's that thing where it's like, well, you should go up, and I'm telling you, if you want to come teach me a lesson, come on down to my level. You're only missing out on some tokens that you guys obviously don't care for. So, why not come try and teach me a lesson? There's a pretty high chance we'll get paired together at some point. Because the system's just going to keep... I mean, it's a 20 mil power disparity now. It's like, all right, let's see what happens tomorrow or the day after. But this is good, though. This is good, because people said, oh, you only seal club and this and that. And at this point, these are not seals. We're not... We went from clubbing seals to taking out Navy SEALs. So, completely different breed of, yeah. So we're taking down some actual veterans now, some actual stronger guilds that are coordinated. And to be quite frank, I was kind of surprised that there are this many, like, heavier hitters in this division. I thought there wasn't very many. So either people have always been here, and it's because, again, it's a big bracket, or people saw that you can hit top 250 if you win everything and you clean up well. Because, again, right now we're 235. We've got 2 fights left. As long as we we place well for the next 2 fights. We should hit top 250 again, no problem. And, you know, boy, we'll get extra, you know, 750 tokens or so. But I'm going to be very curious to see who our final opponent is. I mean, you guys can start taking guesses. I would say Rogue Traders, if they really were going to just try and throw a tough guild at us to just try and get us to, you know, lose our win streak. Those guys, I know they have a pretty sizable streak as well. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Or maybe there's some other mystery opponent out there in the wind that we're not aware of. Because again, it's a big sandbox, so anything's possible. But whoever it may be, I'm excited. I am excited to see just how far we can go against like a real opponent. Because again, there's a big disparity in Battlefield 3. I've got less than 10 Diamond 3 units. You could go up against guilds that have a bunch of those. There's disparity there. Here, I've got plenty of gold units, plenty of silver units, plenty of bronze units, and so does everybody else in my guild, and so does everybody else we fight. That's pretty fair to me. The only real disadvantage a lot of these guilds ran into, especially early on, was no coordination, no communication, and they were just easily dispatched. I mean, they stood no chance against us. Some of these guilds never got to medbay. But this season, every guild has at least gotten and taken down our medbay and gotten us substantially close to a wipeout. You know, minus the one guild that actually did wipe out our defenses. And I can't tell if these guys are going to be able to wipe us out or not, but they're looking on track to potentially do that. It may not be a clean wipeout on their end. It may be, you know, may take them all their tokens except like 50 to get there. And it could also take us a substantial amount of tokens to do the same thing. It's, like I said, it's too soon to tell right now. But, yeah, no, I like this matchmaking adjustment. Has any of you guys noticed any adjustments to your matchmaking? Does anything feel off or different? Or are you noticing like less like one-sided matches, or is this again just a me thing because I've kind of laughed in the face of Snowprint on this and I'm like, come on, teach me a lesson, let's go, throw something my way. I've been angling for a beatdown session for a while now and it hasn't happened. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, and then again we'll see if we win, and I hope we do. I am curious to see the hell that gets laid upon me for the finale. And if it isn't a strong opponent, I am going to be somewhat disappointed because I'm like really hoping for something crazy. I'm really hoping for like some weird team out there to really come in and try and, you know, fight against us so we could say that we're like the top dogs in 2. Because, I mean, in terms of streak-wise, we are. But in terms of fighting skilled opponents, outside of this season, we never really fought any skilled opponents in Battlefield 2. We just dismantled a bunch of teams who had no chance against us. So, I am very, very excited for that. Anyway, with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. And then also, I do want to do a new comparison season or summary. It's kind of like what we do with the PvP thing and the you know, pay to play, free to play stuff, but for like guilds. So going forward next season, if you guys want to like take screenshots of all your matches so I can see, you know, your matches and your opponents and see how you did, see what you fought against, to see how the matchmaking has evolved, I'm down to do that type of video as well. Because again, I am very curious to see if this was just a me thing or if the system's being tweaked on the back end and things feel a bit better. I kind of wish the rewards would be a bit better for, you know, the additional effort applied. But I get it, you know, one thing at a time. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, peace, guys.